All right, welcome back. This will be game number 3 of my little narrative campaign. This one is called Home. For those who've watched the previous episodes, you know that uh, Sarah and her daughter Chelsea have been trying to navigate the beginnings of the zombie apocalypse. Um, and in the last scenario, had rescued a man by the name of Jack. Uh, But in the process, it looked like Sarah had been bit. At least according to the die roll, she was. At the end of the scenario, I went ahead and consulted the rules in the Miles Behind Us expansion. And after some die rolls, come to find out that she actually wasn't bit. It was a mistake. However, she is going to begin this game wounded, and she will be down to 3 health. Here's their cards here to kind of reference back. So there's Sarah, so she's going to start at 3 health. You have Chelsea here, who has the old gun that was found, and I'm keeping the black die handy, so I remember to use the unreliable rule when it triggers. And then the individual that they named Jack, or I'm sorry, saved. His name is Jack, and here he is with his shotgun. As I said before, this one is called Home. This is where they have finally, after pretty much running all day, made it back to Sarah and Chelsea's house, and they have brought Jack with them. As before, I've decided to throw in a couple wrinkles, complications in the game. So the first one, and I just kind of made up some rules, it is dark outside. So night has fallen, and it will hinder them as they go along. And so I just made it kind of simple. Pretty much you can't see a model beyond 6 inches. So if you're trying to shoot or spot, enemy models, you can't see them beyond that 6-inch mark. Obviously it doesn't affect zombies because, why would it? It's called the zombie apocalypse for a reason. And the other complication that I've thrown in, and I'm calling this thieves, we have a couple of individuals down here on this end of the board. The one on the right, that is Freddy. He is a bruiser. Let me get you the stack cards here. And a pretty tough guy. He has the stab ability, which means he gets to reroll any of his melee dice when attacking with a sharp weapon. Even though the model shows a knife, he's armed with a sickle. And then the individual over there on his left is Charles. And Charles is another bruiser. Has the strong, which means he can carry a bulky weapon or item in one hand, and he also has the scraper ability, which allows him to always push back on a draw even against other survivors who have the initiative. Pretty tough guys. Their background, they're just not nice people. Maybe they're ex-cons, maybe they're just a couple local thugs who are taking advantage of the situation. Either way, they are kind of an opposition, and I'm playing with some new rules that I won't say I've developed these. Actually, if you look into the Fallout miniatures game, they have some interesting rules on how to run AI. You can go to their website and download those rules and how to do that, and it's so simple that it hurts my brain that I didn't think of it. It could be complicated, but the concept is actually pretty simple. So those of you who maybe want to have AI survivors, it's worth taking a look. Basically, you have an objective and a subject, and that kind of determines their actions. And of course, you can set up little clauses of when those things might change, what things might trigger those changes, conditions, however you want to name it. And so we'll kind of discuss how they're going to work, and then we'll get on with the scenario. So the two individuals here, again, the bigger guy, that would be Charles. He is kind of the bodyguard or protector of Freddy, which is the smaller guy on the right. Now, Freddy's goal is he has a setup where he's going to begin the game, and his goal is to get to this place here, and he's going to search the vehicle. Once he has done that successfully, he will move toward the house, and I'll go ahead and pop this off to kind of let you see what I'm talking about. He will then move to the yellow die, And then from there, he will begin moving to the rooms that have objective markers. And again, his goal is to get in there and search. And so he'll go to this one because it's closer, and then he'll go to this one because it's closer. And then after that, he will move and make his way to this die over here. So that is this guy. That's how he is going to run. Charles here is going to move to the 1, move to the 2, move to the 3, move back to the 2, and then we'll come inside the building. And he will stay here until Freddy makes his way. And once Freddy goes to leave, Charles will try to do his best to stay within 2 inches, and will attack any model close by, again, to kind of protect. Let me take that die off. That was something I changed. So that's kind of basic their programming, I guess, if you will. Now, I have put another little thing with them that they are both, I'm going to say, overconfident. So along the way, if there's any enemy model as they go along that's within their path, they will go ahead and engage. And at this moment, of course, they both have melee weapons, so they'll engage melee. And that's probably how they're going to stick with it. I haven't really decided what happens if they search and find a ranged weapon. We'll just make that up as we go. If Freddy, the smaller guy, basically gets into combat where he does not initiate, so a zombie moves into him or one of our survivors go to attack him, Charles will break away from what he's doing. Obviously, he'll finish any melee combat or any other combat that he's in, but he will break away what he's doing and move to protect Charles. And again, that'll work is he'll move within those 2 inches. He will maintain that 2-inch distance the best he can, and then will attack any local targets. Again, he's kind of, even though he's the big guy, he's kind of there to protect Freddy, who is kind of the brains, if you will. If at any point that the threat is gone and Freddy begins to go back to his original searching, then Charles will also go back and pick up where he left off and continue his patrol. Maybe it sounds a little complicated. I've never actually played it out. I've just kind of thought about it. So we'll see how it works. It might be complicated, but if it works, it really opens up a lot of possibilities for this and any other kind of co-op or solo game to allow something besides mindless zombies or mindless aliens. And hopefully in a way will have them act intelligent. I am kind of simplifying it, and some of the stuff is kind of in my head on how it reacts, but we'll just play it out and see how it goes. Okay, so let's wrap it up with, let's talk about these folks' objectives. So their objective, unknowing that there are zombies or even these 2 thieves in the area, their goal is to get into the house, and they can secure each door. Basically, once they're in the house, they can go to one of the doors. There's 2, one in the front and one in the back. They can basically perform an action and lock the door. Once that's done, as long as there is no threat within 3 inches of the building, so zombies or these survivors, then they have technically won the game. They have got themselves home, secured themselves, and if that ever happens, this scenario will end immediately. And from there, let's just go ahead and get into it. So what I've decided, since I'm playing with another group of survivors, is I'm actually going to use the initiative token. And so I'm going to go ahead and roll this black die, and on a shield, our heroes have it, and on a blank, the thieves over there will actually have the initiative, and then it will pass back and forth as normal. I just decided to do that because there could be some situations that we need the initiative to determine who does what. So let's go ahead and roll. Let's see if we can see it. And I have a shield, so our survivors indeed have the initiative. So just to keep myself remembering, I'm going to put it on this side, and then we'll just pass back and forth. Go ahead and get my dice tray here. And I know in before the episodes, I randomly go ahead and set up the zombies on the spot, but to kind of save time, I went ahead and did that here in the beginning before I started the video. So you can see I've already got zombies placed here and here. And it's, you know, good and ready to go. So we're going to start with these folks here. And so Sarah is, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead. She, you know, as I said before, really wasn't bit from those die rolls based on the miles behind us expansion. But she is still wounded. So I am going to go ahead and she's going to go ahead and use these horse pills just right off the bat. And basically it says discard this card as a special action to restore health points. The survivor's activation will end immediately and they are laid prone. So she's going to go ahead and go prone. And if you notice that all the zombies are out of their line of sight or because of the darkness, and so she thinks she's safe. Normally you'd think you'd do that in the house, but hey, I'm playing a game, so I know things can go bad. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to roll the die and see how many points that she heals. She heals 2, which is exactly what she needed. So she's moved back to 5. But she is down, so she is going to have to spend an action next turn to get up. So that will be her action. And then I've decided that Charles is going to go first. And unless a different decision is made, they will always sneak. And so he is going to go ahead and move toward the 1. So he's going to go to there. Now at this point he can see the zombie. It is within 6 inches. So again, kind of because of their overconfidence, he is going to go ahead and make noise and attract the zombie to him. So the zombie will come over, and he's trying to kind of clearing the path for, you know, his buddy here. Because that zombie is within 6 inches, and you know the guys are kind of overconfident they're going to go out and attack, he is going to go ahead and he will also sneak and go into base contact with the zombie. They do kind of tag team together. Oh, you know, I totally skipped the actions over here, so my bad. We'll get into that. So basically I'm just going to have this guy here. This was, Jack. He's just going to move to kind of protect the body. And Chelsea will move there to kind of protect Sarah until Sarah can get up next turn. Anyway, so that's skipped it a little bit, but that's how that's going to work out. So now that we've done with that, we're going to go to the event phase. We're going to look at kill zones. So obviously no one else is in kill zone, and no one over here is in kill zone. Just FYI. Actually, Jack here cannot see this zombie, and Sarah can see that zombie. Yeah, just to kind of talk about the rule and how I'm using the nighttime. So from there, we will go ahead and draw an event card. The herd. So we are at 1 in the all quiet range. It says the player with the initiative chooses a walker and moves it in a direction of their choice. All eligible walkers within 8 inches of the chosen walker will also move, converging on the chosen walker. So before in the solo part of it, you always kind of move the walkers towards you. But since I do have 2 sides, I am going to play with what is advantageous to both sides. So what I'm going to do is I am going to choose this walker. Is it this one? Yes, I'm going to choose this walker, and it is going to move into a direction of my choice. I'm actually, this might seem a little weird because they're trying to get into the house, but since I do have a plan, we're going to move that walker there. And then it's going to say all eligible walkers within 8 inches will also move on to the zombie. So this one's going to move here. This one is within 8 inches. So it will, did I do that right? Yeah, I think I did. So this one will move here. This one will move here. And, oh, actually that one is there within that range. So it's going to move here. This one's not eligible, even if it was in range, because it's engaged. So that is the herd, and that event is over. So now we are going to go into the melee phase. Is there melee? The answer is yes, there is. We got it over here. So we increase the threat up to 2. And then we are going to get into the combat. So the zombie gets 1 red die. And I am just going to roll all the dice for the other side. So Freddy gets a white die plus an additional red die. Actually, I will roll them separate because of their special abilities. So let's do the zombie first. So the zombie didn't get anything. So we'll do Freddy. He's going to get to roll these dice. And he's got a headshot. So I'm just going to stop there. There's no point of continuing on. And they kill the zombie. So the zombie is defeated. So we are finished with that. We've resolved the melee. There's no knockdown zombies. There's no bitten humans or survivors. And so we're going to go ahead and continue. So the initiative moves we'll call them the thugs. So because these zombies are out of line of sight and there's no immediate threats to them, they're going to go back to their missions. So again, we're going to start with Freddy, and Freddy's going to move his way toward the vehicle because that's what his goal is to do. So he's just going to make him move straight. We'll kind of look. He technically can see most of the herd, but he's going to stop there. They are overconfident, but I don't play them as if they're stupid. So he is going to go ahead and try to reduce the threat level at this point, and he does not, so it stays there. So Sarah's going to stand up, and that will be her first action. And then her second action is actually to sneak this way. And I guess I'll use these markers to let you know who's activated. So from there we are going to continue back with this side. He is basically going to move there. He can also see the herd. And I said they were overconfident, but again, they aren't necessarily dumb. Though it may not matter now that I think about it. I probably should have had the other guy make noise or something to break him up, but I didn't think about it at the time. However, there is a threat within... well, he's not been attacked, so I guess the protect AI roll won't kick in effectively yet. So anyway, so he moves. Let's just go ahead and reduce the threat level. Why not? Nope, it stays there. We are... So Jack is going to run to here. Now that'll make noise, so we're going to check every zombie. Oh, I think I did that wrong, but oh well. Every zombie with an 8, and they will move. They'll shamble their way toward him, or the closest one. So he is about 5 inches. This one's further. So I kind of didn't estimate that right, but this zombie sees and shambles toward him. So that ends his activation. So I think what I'm going to do... Chelsea has actually got enough moves that she's going to run around and also engage the zombie. She's a little bit braver. She realizes that you can't just be a scared little girl in the zombie apocalypse. You're going to have to take charge. So she does that move. That zombie is just outside of that, so they are not attracted by the noise. So we will move to the event phase. We are going to look in this. Oh wow, we did luck out. I'm glad I didn't do that. Well, I guess I'm not. I want them to lose. But anyway, so it's a good thing that they didn't try to attract them. They are outside the zone. So we'll draw the event card. And this is roamers. We're also in the all quiet threat. It says move one eligible walker toward the nearest survivor. So since this side has the initiative, they're going to choose, and they are going to guess they will just peel this zombie here on the corner off and move it to there. Is that right? Yeah. So move it toward the our heroes, if you will. All right, so we're going to look, is there melee? Yes, there is. We will raise the threat level, and then we are going to go ahead and go into the combat. So the zombie will get 1 red die. Chelsea, they're going to attack. So Chelsea is going to get 1 red die for the attack, and Jack is going to do the same. So we'll roll for the zombie, and the zombie gets 1. And our duo here gets 2 plus a headshot, so it definitely worked out for them, and they kill the zombie. So it didn't work out so bad. We have no other effects to resolve in the end phase, so we'll move back to the next turn. So initiative passes back. It's going to be a little bit different now because we do have some zombies pretty close. So I think what's going to happen is Sarah is going to run. We are trying to get to the house, so she is pretty much going to run right to here. She's not going to go too far, not the full length, but a little bit. Running makes noise, so we're going to look at the zombie, and the zombie is going to move into base with her. Of course, that ends her action. I guess I should have used her leadership ability first. So what we're going to do from there is Jack is going to try to reduce the threat level. He fails, and then he will sneak, definitely within the sneak distance, to here. Now, you know, I totally keep skipping the other side. I'm used to playing this by myself, so these two have activated. So basically, we're going to activate all these guys first. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to move here. Now, one of the stipulations for the vehicle is that there's a chance that the door is locked. So I'm going to roll a die. If it's a shield, the door is unlocked. If it is blank, it is locked, and he will have to do a bash action to open the door. So we're just going to check that out right away. It is unlocked, so he does not have to do the bash action. So he is going to search. He automatically will take that. And let's see what Freddy found. He found a tire iron. Hey, isn't that funny since he's running around with a sickle, but he's going to go ahead and put it in his other hand. It actually isn't a bad weapon. And we will go ahead. So we're going to go to Charles. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting names. So again, overconfident but not stupid. So Charles is going to go ahead and move to his next objective. I have a reason for that. If you notice that he is up on a porch, so what I am going to say is I'm going to use this kind of like if you're fighting over a barrier. Of course, barriers only give you the bonus to melee if you're defending. But if he was defending, he would get a bonus die. So he's going to move silently, and he's going to go ahead and try to reduce the threat level. Whoops, let's try this. And it did not happen again. So there are their actions, and then we're going to go with Chelsea. Chelsea's going to try to reduce. She did. Threat levels goes back to 2, which is just as good. And then she will also move into contact with the zombie. Definitely using some teamwork to take out zombies in this time. Alright, so we're going to look for kill zones. So this zombie is within his kill zone, and we'll move there. This zombie is also within the kill zone. This could be bad. And this zombie, I'm going to have to get over here. I think that one's also in the kill zone. It is. And actually this zombie is within his kill zone. So this is how that'll work. And then of course they will kind of push around. This is how the zombie rules work. So it's going to be kind of like that. So now we're going to go to the melee phase. Oh, I'm sorry. First I have to draw an event card. My bad. So we've done that. Now we're going to go event card. And this is called the Hunger. So the first thing that happens is the threat level goes up by once, but we're still in all quiet. It says walkers suddenly stop. Nothing else happens. Okay. I think there's probably enough going on, so that's good. So now we're going to go to the melee phase. Is there melee? Yeah, there definitely is. And so the threat level goes up. So now we are in low threat. So since this team has initiative, let's go ahead and resolve that one first. So the zombie will get 1. Sarah will get a red and a white because they're going to attack. Chelsea will get a red, and Jack will add a red. So the zombie rolls. And, ooh, 2 hits and a bite. I could have used Sarah's action to back away. I forgot about her nimble, but she's not. She's going to engage. So, potentially could be dangerous here. We're going to roll for them. Oh, they definitely did it. They also got a headshot and more than enough to defeat the zombie. And so, totally took out the zombie. Let's go ahead and we will finish this one here. Go ahead and remove these so I know that they are already finished. Okay, so Freddy gets a white die for his. The zombie gets its red. And Freddy is going to use the sickle, so it's going to add another white die. And he is allowed to re-roll any of his rolls as long as he has a sharp weapon. So that's what he's doing. So we'll roll for the zombie first. The zombie gets 1 hit. We'll roll for Freddy. Freddy also gets 1 hit. But doesn't do any damage. So he's going to push the zombie back 1 inch. Alright, so we have Charles. Now Charles gets a red die and a white die right off the bat. He also, now the crowbar actually doesn't help him do any additional damage. Well, what a bummer. So 1 zombie gets 1, 2 zombies add 2, and 3 zombies, I believe. Is it 3? You know, unfortunately, I've never had a combat with that many zombies on, so give me a moment. Sorry to slow the game down. Alright, well, again, I apologize. I thought I knew right where the rule was. Do I have my walker card? Is it on the walker card? The 3rd zombie rolls 3. Okay, so we do get 1, 2. Alright, so a lot of dice. Okay, this could be a bad thing. Alright, so let's go ahead and use our villain. He's going to start swinging. Uh-oh, he gets nothing. I think he's going to be Zombie Chow. Zombies roll. They get 5 hits and a bite, and he only had 5, so he actually is dead. What we will do is he is removed, and we will replace it with this knockdown zombie. I'm going to go ahead and remove these because we aren't going to need them anymore. So, anyway, he is out. And that is the end of the melee phase. We will roll to see if the zombie stands up. And he does. So now this is not only not good for Freddy here, but also the fact that they both are going to try to get into the house and there's a bunch of zombies in the way. So this will be removed. Initiative moves back. So this is one of those cases that if we follow the AI programming, it's going to cause him to do dumb things because, you know, his next objective is to move straight into the house to the next die, which is here in the center. what I don't want is I just don't want them playing dumb. So what we will do is that I will have him move his 4 inches. He still cannot see the group over there, so I'm going to say he doesn't react to them. And then he's going to make noise. Yes, so he'll make noise. This is the nearest zombie, and he'll just move into there. There's really not a whole lot he's going to do this turn. We'll go with our heroes again. They are at this point where they cannot see the zombies. They're too far out, so their goal was to get into the house. So Sarah is going to go ahead and she will do her sneak. And she will sneak to there. And all of a sudden, hey, she can see zombies. That is not good. So her next action will be to try to reduce the threat level. Oh, she actually doesn't roll that. She has it automatic. I'm sorry. She has the stay calm ability. And she reduces the threat by 1. There's no one else on this side, so we'll just finish with this group. So, I think what will happen is, let's see. So I am going to have Jack run. He's not really running that far, but he's running because I can get the noise. And then the closest zombie will shamble toward him. And the zombie will shamble to here and stop. I haven't fired a shot in this all these scenarios, so I think he is going to fire. So that's going to create some mayhem. So we'll see what happens here. He is going to go ahead and shoot. His attack will be 1 white die. That's his basic. And the shotgun adds a red die. So let's roll and see what happens. He gets 1 hit. The zombie will roll. The zombie gets a blank. Pushes it back and knocks it down, if I remember correct. However, it creates mayhem, so all zombies within 10 will shamble their way to him. So let's see how this is going to work. That will be all the zombies. So this zombie will shamble to here. This zombie will shamble to there. This zombie will shamble. And this one will also shamble to right there. That's a no bueno. So I think what I will do next is Chelsea is going to run to here. She's going to run around because it creates noise. She's going to go ahead and pull this zombie away. That might be a little close. Alright, that is the end of all their activations. We will go to the event phase. We're going to check to see if zombies shamble. Unfortunately, oh wow, only this zombie. Yeah, let me double check. Yeah, only that zombie will shamble into Jack. That was interesting. I kind of thought they were a little closer. Unfortunately for Chelsea, this zombie shambles there. So there is a rule that you can shoot, I believe, with a pistol as a zombie moves their way into melee. Let me double check that. Again, I'm sorry for stopping. I meant to look that up before we started the game and did not. Yes. Items with the handgun, which is what she has. You make a normal attack against the enemy in base contact. There's no need to randomize who is hit. If there are other friends in the fight, the attack will, of course, cause mayhem. So let's go ahead and do that. So she's going to go ahead and she's going to try to shoot at the zombie. So she has a shoot skill because of her experience from last scenario of 1 red die, and then the handgun will also let her add a die. And the zombie, of course, gets its red. So we'll roll for the defense. Uh-oh, that's 2. And she will shoot, and she doesn't. So the handgun is ineffectual essentially. I also will have to roll this black die to see, because it's unreliable, to see if it runs out of ammo. On a blank it runs out, I believe. That's what we'll call it, so it's out of ammo. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that card over to remind myself. Okay, so now they've actually engaged, but before they do, I guess we need to cause the mayhem, right? So this zombie is just within 10 inches, and so it will shamble straight her way. And let's see, where's that other one? That other one is outside, so, you know, maybe not so bad, except, I'm sorry, the threat level did go up by 1. Now we're going to roll, actually I should have done that after the event phase, so let me finish the event phase real quick. The threat did go up because of the melee. Alright, so we are in low threat. Feeding frenzy is all quiet. Okay, so we're in low threat. Roll 1 black die for each survivor engaged in melee against 1 or more walkers. On a shield, they will lose 1 health. If there are no models, we raise the threat. So we do have 2 models, unfortunately. So Chelsea, let's see what happens there. She is good. And we're going to roll for Jack. Jack is also good. So, not so bad. We're good there. All right. Now we'll go back into the melee. We've already raised the threat level for the melee. Let's go ahead and resolve this melee with Jack. Jack gets a red die, and so he's going to go swinging, and he gets 1 hit. The zombie will also get 1 red die, and gets a blank. Now, didn't get a headshot, so he doesn't kill it, but he will knock it down, which isn't so bad. Now let's get to Chelsea, and the setup is exactly the same way. So she's going to roll her red die and get 1 hit, and the zombie will roll. Will also get 1 hit. However, she has to be defensive, so even if she got a headshot, she wouldn't kill him. And the reason why she has to be defensive is because she shot the pistol. But she did tie, so she will. Ties always go to the survivors, or to those who have initiative if it's against survivors, and she will push the zombie back. You know, that didn't really turn out as bad as it could have. Into the phase, let's roll for these 2 zombies. The one on the left here stands up, and the one on the right here also stands up. Uh-oh, Jack might be in a little bit of trouble. Pardon me. And the initiative will move back over. One thing, normally when you play solo, at the end of every round you raise the threat level by 1. I decided not to do that for this particular scenario because there's a survivor team, an enemy survivor team, for those who maybe know the rules. What I will do, though, is that if this survivor is eliminated, then I will go back to raising the threat level. But I didn't, since I'm kind of play testing this anyway, I didn't want to make it too hard or too complicated. So the initiative goes back to our heroes. Now, what I will say is that this survivor does know that there's other survivors out here because of the gunshot, but still can't actually see them. So since there is no threat that he can visually detect because everything's out past his 6 inches, he will go back to following his programmed move, which is to come here. So he is going to sneak, because I don't know if I said that, but they are going to sneak for the most part when they move. When we go to look, nobody's within, so he can't see. So he's moved. He knows there's something going on because the threat level is going up. He is going to go ahead and try to reduce the threat level. And he is successful, so it will go back down by 1. So that is his action. We are going to go back to our group here, and I do have some decisions to make. I think what we will do. Let's start with Jack. Jack's the one who's kind of in trouble. Jack is going to run. Yeah, essentially Jack is going to run to here. He creates noise, so the nearest zombie will shamble toward him. which is this one. Uh-oh. And it will actually shamble into melee with him, so that will end his action. Let's go to Chelsea. Chelsea is going to do the same thing. Chelsea is going to run to the back of the house. That's where she is off to, so she will run to here, the nearest zombie. I think this one's actually the nearest zombie, so the one that attacked her is going to shamble toward her. That's a bummer. She is going to go ahead and try to reduce the threat level, but she does not. Now, let me think here. Let's see, is she within the 6? She is not within the 6. So I'm going to say she can't react because she doesn't know he's there. But Sarah is... I don't really want it. Actually, I think I do. Sarah is going to go ahead and run here as well. And she will run to essentially right here. I'm afraid you probably can't see it. She's kind of hide behind the building. I guess, actually, let me do this. Let me take this off so you can kind of see. And because she ran, the nearest zombie is going to charge straight at her. I'm actually, technically, Chelsea is not in base contact. That's kind of a bummer. Well, there wasn't really enough room. That's fine. So the zombie will charge like that. And that is all that is going on in the action phase. So in the event phase, we are going to check kill zones. I can go ahead and tell you there's nobody within kill zones, so we're not going to go there. So let's go into the event card. We have roamers, and we are still in low threat. It says each player moves one eligible walker in a direction of their choice. So, I think what I will do since they have the initiative, the survivors will move first. And we are going to move this zombie. We will basically move this zombie to here. And for the other side, or for Freddy over here, let's see, what kind of a jerk can Freddy be? Freddy can be a pretty big jerk. He is going to have this zombie move to here. Alright, that is over. So we will go to the melee phase. We do have melee, so the threat goes up by 1. So let's go ahead and resolve this one back here. By the way, it's this one up under the tree there. Let's go ahead and take care of that. So the zombie gets its red die and gets a hit, and Jack gets a red die and does not. So Jack is pushed back to basically here, and Jack will suffer a wound, but it is not a bite, so we're good there. So Jack goes down to 3. Over there in the corner, the zombie will get his 1 red die, and it is 2 hits and a bite, which is a real bummer. Maybe Sarah will be bit. So she gets a white die and a red die, so let's see what she can do. This could be a problem. Oh, actually not. So she also gets the 2 hits and the headshot marker. Because no damage is actually done, she does not do the headshot. But because she wins, she will push the zombie back 1 inch. Alright. There are no zombies down, nobody's bit, so initiative will just pass over. Alright, well, then he will continue on with his objective. I'm going to put this back in just for a minute. And, I got my ruler. And he will move his 4 inches toward the objective, which will put him right here. And we'll go ahead and mark that he's done. And I am going to say he's going to go ahead and try to reduce the threat level, which he does. So threat goes to 4. All right, Jack is going to sneak. Jack sneaks to here. He's got that tree in between him and the zombie. And he is also going to try to reduce the threat level, which he is successful. So we back down into all quiet. So he is moved there. So since the villainous player's turn is over, we're just going to finish off the rest of the survivors. So Chelsea is going to sneak, and she will make it to the back door. So when you get to the back door, and this is kind of the same with the Jeep, we're going to roll to see if it's locked. If it's a shield, it is unlocked. If it's blanked, it is locked. It is locked. So if she wants to get in, she's going to have to bash. I think instead she's going to try to reduce the threat level, which she did. So we are down into 2. Okay, so Sarah will come around, and she is going to try to bash the door. And if I remember right, you're going to roll your attack against the door, and you've got to beat the door. So the doors, we're going to say, have 1 red die. So let's roll for the door. Has a 1. She attacks. She gets a red and a white. Let's see if she can kick the door in. And she was successful in opening the door. So the downside to that is that the bash makes noise. So the door is open here in the back. And we are going to trigger noise. I'm going to get this other ruler so I don't have to walk back and forth. And so we'll say this one's the closest one, and it's going to shamble straight into the wall because it wasn't up against the cover to begin with. And that is the end of the action phase. Actually, that may not be true. That is not true. This zombie will shamble into Freddy here. Now we will go for the event card. Roamers. Or because of our threat level, it says each player moves 1 eligible walker in the direction of their choice. Well, that's no bueno. So, what our villainous player, AI player, is going to do is, since they have initiative, he is going to move this zombie right around into Sarah. So I think for our hero's side, we are going to shamble this zombie into our nefarious person. Alright. Is there melee? Of course there is. We go to 3. Let's go ahead and resolve this one first. So because of the zombies, they're going to get to roll 3 dice. And Jack will roll a white die. He will roll a red die. And we'll get to re-roll. Because it's sharp. So let's roll for the zombies. 2 hits but no bites. We're going to roll for Jack. I'm sorry, not Jack, but Freddy. 2 hits but only 1 headshot. However, because there's not enough damage to do a headshot, all he does is push them back. And I think you push them both back. If anybody knows different, put a comment so I don't get it wrong. But actually, I guess they'd really only be there. Alright, so let's go back here to Sarah. Sarah's fighting a zombie. The zombie's going to get one, and then Sarah will get a red and a white. Roll for the zombie. He gets one hit. Sarah will fight. Oh no, doesn't get bit, but does take a point of damage. And it will also push. Well, actually, Sarah can't go back because there's a model in the way at Chelsea, so the zombie actually will go back one. But I guess no knockdown. I'm a little unclear about if survivors get knocked down. I think they only do if they're hit with bludgeoned weapons, but I'm not 100% certain on that. I guess because there was no damage either way. Well, no, there was damage. Anyway, again, if somebody knows that ruling, I don't remember off the top of my head, so we'll just assume she stays on her feet. Okay, there's nothing else to roll for at the end phase, so initiative will switch sides, and we will continue. Chelsea is going to enter the house. Chelsea will enter the house. Now the interior doors aren't locked, I'm going to say that. So she's going to open this door and she will just make it to this objective. And then she is going to search. And found bandages. And she, I totally kind of messed up. She didn't ever reload and she only has a pack of one. So she's going to have to choose the bandages or the ammo. I'm going to say she's going to drop the bandages. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Oh well. You got zombies. It makes you not think so well. So we'll go here. And then Freddy is going to move to the door. Unfortunately, I can't take the porch deck off or top off. So let's see if the door is locked. And it is, if I remember, the blank is the door. So he will bash the door in. He will, actually he doesn't have anything that does bludgeon, so he's just going to take a swing at the door. So the door will be the white die and his attack will be, the door will be the red die and his attack will be the white die. And he is not able to get into the door, but he does create the noise. So we'll just say this zombie will shamble up in there into him. Alright, so let's go ahead and do Jack next. Jack is going to run to here. It's going to trigger this zombie. This zombie will shamble into the back of the car. And we will go ahead and go for Sarah. Sarah will come in and then I'm going to use her action to lock the door. That'll be her last action. So the back door is locked. I'll put a die here to show that this part of the thing is succeeded. And that is that. Let's check shambles. No shambles there, so I'm assuming that's going to be the only. Looks like everyone else is too far away. We're going to go to the event. Pandemonium. Yay. Threat level goes up to 4, so we are in the low threat. We're going to roll a blue die and move that many eligible walkers towards the nearest survivor. Then one white die worth of walkers enter play. So because the heroes have the initiative, they are the ones who are going to move the zombies. So they're going to roll a red die, roll 1. So he is going to shamble this zombie right into Freddy up here. then we're going to roll a white die, and that many zombies are going to appear. So we're going to have 2 zombies. So those who have watched my videos before, I like to randomly determine the zombies. The black die will determine the direction. And actually, they're always going to appear on the edge for this particular scenario. So just it's going to be the direction, and I'll base it here in the center. So it goes here. So one zombie will appear about here, behind this tree. And then the other zombie will appear, oh my, right here. Well, right here. I know there's a rule about not within the kill zone, but I like to make it a little more dangerous, so it'll appear there. Alright, we have done all that, so we're going to go into the melee phase. Yes, there is melee, and we're going to see what happens. So, Freddy is going to get his white die and his red die for his sickle, and the zombies will roll a total of 3. He will, ooh, wow, the zombie's got 5 hits with 2 bites. One thing that I always seem to forget to do is the reroll if he needs it. So we're going to go ahead and he's going to attack. I don't think it's going to matter, but he's just going to go ahead and reroll. Alright, so he lost. He will take 2 damage. 1 and 2, and he is bitten. So that should prove interesting. We may have more zombies than we thought. That is the end of that. There are no knockdown zombies, but we have to roll for Freddy's bite to see if he takes another wound. If it is, let's see, I'm sorry. If it is a blank, he will lose a health. And it is blank. So Freddy is down to, Freddy is down to 2 wounds. No, definitely no bueno from him. Also, because he lost and he's up against a barrier, the zombies will come back. So I'm just going to push this one basically off, since he can't actually move. All right. You know, I don't know that if I rolled to see if the door was locked on the front door. I've already forgotten. So let's assume I didn't. And we'll roll. If it is a shield, it is unlocked. And if it's blank, it's locked. It is unlocked. So he will use his action to open the door. And he sees Sarah. So in that case, he is going to sneak up to Sarah. That will get him to his objective that he needed to, and because he's a little overconfident, he's going to go and attack. So this is going to go away, and there will be a melee there. We'll just go ahead and say Sarah doesn't get any actions because she's engaged in melee, so we'll call that quits for her. Chelsea will, because I forgot before, will use her action to reload. She'll spin the reload to reload her pistol. And then she is going to move into melee, which we'll just kind of finagle. I'm not going to get too picky about it, and move into melee. Jack, Jack is going to sneak to this corner and then try to reduce the threat level, which he did, so the threat goes back to 4. I believe that is everybody. So nobody's within shamble distance, so we will go to the event. We got roamers. We are in low threat. Move one eligible walker toward the nearest survivor. Since Freddy here has the initiative, he is going to move this walker over here. Shamble, shamble, shamble. Oh my, right into Jack. Okay, so is there melee? There is. So we are going to increase the melee. Let's go ahead and resolve this one real quick here. So Jack gets one red die and the zombie gets red. So we'll do zombie first. Uh-oh, 2 hits and a headshot. And Jack did the same thing. Damage is negated. No headshot, anything, but he'll push it back. But it won't knock down because there's no damage dealt. All right, so let's get inside here. Yeah, just to be authentic, we'll get them all facing each other. I'm a nerd like that sometimes. All right, so Freddy gets 1 white die, and his sickle gets him 1 red die, and it will allow him to re-roll. Sarah will get 1 white die and 1 red die, just because, you know, she's tough. And then Chelsea will add 1 red die. So let's go ahead and do mother and daughter first. 3 hits but no headshots, and then we are going to attack with Freddy. Freddy gets 2 hits and a headshot. However, the damage, the mom and daughter duo did more damage, so they will hit him for 1 and will push him back to here. And, oh, you know what I didn't roll? I didn't roll for Freddy's bite because I forgot about it, so we'll do it at the end of the turn. But Freddy is down to 1 health, so we'll see what happens. So there's that. There's no knockdown zombies, but let us go ahead and roll for that bite mark because I did forget it the last round. So if it is blank, he will take that last point of damage and die. And it is blank, so he will take his last point of damage and go down. And he might come back next turn. All right, so part of the winning condition for our heroes is lock both doors, which the back one is already locked, but there can be no model within 3 inches of the house. No enemy model within 3 inches of the house. So now that the initiative is gone, now that the opposing side is gone, starting next turn, we will increase the threat level every round. Okay. Action phase. We're just going to have Chelsea move up and whack you know, I think that you can totally cap a zombie when it's down. We're going to say that if they are prone, and let me double check real quick. Oh no, it will defend. Okay, so never mind. It defends. So anyway, we're going to have Chelsea move up. And I guess we will have Sarah also move up. We're going to make sure we finish the zombie. Technically it's defending. We'll just do that for them. And actually Sarah, before she moves into contact with him, will reduce the threat level by 2. Puts it into 3. Okay, so now we need to get these zombies away from the house so we can win the round. So Jack is first going to try to reduce the threat level. No, actually Jack is not going to reduce the threat level. Jack is going to run to this back corner. And then Jack is going to, so he ran to the back corner, so that makes noise. So this zombie is going to shamble toward him, right to there. He might have made a mistake, but oh well. And then he is going to shoot the zombie. He's going to create mayhem. So, he gets a white die for his shooting skill, and he gets a red die for the shotgun, and the zombie will get his white die. So the zombie will roll. Got a blank. A shotgun attack. One hit. I think it pushes him back one and knocks him down, but doesn't kill him. When he fires, the threat level goes up by 1, and then all zombies within 10. Well, it may not have worked as good as he had hoped. No, actually, no zombies are within range. Okay, well, that didn't quite work like he'd hoped, but anyway. So he is done there. Go to the event phase. Nobody's close enough for it to worry about it, so we'll draw our event card. The herd. We are in low threat. Choose a walker and move it towards the nearest survivor. All eligible walkers within 8 inches of the chosen walker will converge. So, we will... Gonna go toward the nearest survivor. Well, that is not good. So what we're going to do, this is technically the nearest survivor. The zombie works its way here. This zombie works its way there. All zombies within 8. Really? So this zombie is basically going to hop the porch and get stuck. And technically that one is too. Yeah, we're going to say it makes its way into the door. Up to the door. Interesting. Alright, so melee. Is there melee? There is going to be melee. But we are going to beat the stuffing out of that zombie. So the zombie will roll as a defender. So 1, but no, it can't actually deal damage. And then they will totally stomp its brains in. So this one is done. We need to roll to see if the zombie over here stands up. And I believe it stays down. And it does. Okay, so end of the turn. Threat level goes up by 1. And we begin again. Alright, so Jack is going to try to reduce the threat level by 1. And he does. And then he's going to increase it again because he's going to shoot his gun at the zombie over here in the back. So the zombie rolls a 1. Jack rolls that. No headshots. But it pushes the zombie back. Now, because it created mayhem, all zombies within 10 will come at him. However, I don't think there were before, so no one's actually moving. Yeah, definitely not. So, Sarah is going to move to the door. And she'll use her action to lock the door. Chelsea will move to the other objective. And we'll search. Let's hope it's not a zombie. It's an empty box. That's almost as funny. Okay, so, technically the door's locked, but we still have too many zombies. So we're going to go to the event phase, and here's how I'm going to work the kill zone issue. So I'm going to say if zombies are attracted to the door because they're trying to get to someone in their kill zone, during the melee phase they will actually attack the door. They will do a bash attack essentially. So this one, I can't really get it there, but it's also going to be, so there's going to be 2 zombies on that door. And this one is technically within the kill zone, and when you're in a kill zone you're basically moving 2 inches. So I'm going to say because it's in cover, it's just going to make its way toward the back door. And I'll do the same with this one. I'm not exactly certain how that rule should work. That's how I'm going to do it. Oh, you know, I think... Did I skip his step? I think I did skip his step. He's just going to move into melee combat and try to kill the zombie. Okay, so... now, you know, and I also... Okay, so now actually what I should be is I should be in the event phase. So distracted, we are in low threat. Move 1 eligible walker of your choice, or into the direction of your choice. However, in solo, they always move towards you. So, I think what I want to do is I want this walker to move to him. Or actually, they should move toward the closest eligible survivor. So I'm not going to do that. We're going to choose this one. He's going to walk over. Actually, he would walk over here, wouldn't he? Okay, we're going to do that. He moves over this way. Okay, melee. Let's go ahead and take care of this one with Jack. The zombie. And Jack. It's a tie. I don't know if you would push them because they're on the ground, but yeah, we'll say they do. Just no actual damage. Alright, so these 2 zombies are attacking the door. So the door gets a 1, and the zombies are going to just attack like they would. And they beat the door, so the door is broken. So I'm going to take the die out. Actually, I'm going to turn it to a 6 to remind me that that is a broken door. They bashed it in. And actually that zombie's not quite to the door, so we're okay there. I think I forgot to raise the threat level because of the melee. I don't remember. We're just going to leave it there. Okay, so we're going to roll to see if this zombie stands up. And he stays down. And I believe we are going to call that an end to the round. At the end of the round, the threat level will go up. I'll try to keep remembering that. And we'll see. Next round. So Jack is going to try to reduce the threat level, which he did. He's going to immediately increase it again because he's going to shoot that zombie. He's getting tired of putting around. So the zombie's defense is 2, and the shotgun is also 2, but no headshot. Yeah, what the heck? We'll say it scatters him a little bit. Who cares? Yeah. And then we create a lot of mayhem. So this zombie is within, and I'm going to say since he's already kind of up against the cover, he is just going to make his way to Jack. That zombie is also there, so he is going to be there. This zombie, I think he's there. Yeah, maybe not. It's kind of hard to tell. Nope, he's there. So that zombie is going to cut straight and get caught on the corner. This zombie is there as well. So basically, it's going to make its way to the end of the porch. I'm going to say, because I don't want to be too too geeky about it, but I'll say you can jump off the porch next round. And, you know, to make this easier, you know, I'm going to wreck this whole thing. To make this easier, I don't know why I thought that was a smart idea. I am going to just put these zombies up here to show that they're coming across. Oh my, I might have actually got my zombie stuck. You know, we're going to leave it. We'll just throw another zombie. You guys know what's going on. So the zombie down here is really not there until I get a chance to figure out how to get it out. Anyway, so those two are moving toward the shop. All right, Chelsea is going to try to reduce the threat level, which she did. And then she is going to make noise. And I'm going to say this zombie is the closest, and so it's going to shamble basically to the door. Sarah's going to use her action to lock the door back. And then reduce the threat. Use her leader ability. So reduces it by 2. Alright, so we need to check kill zones, which I think we are out. Wow. Yeah, I think we are just out of that. That couldn't have been any more lucky. We'll do the event. The Walking Dead. The threat goes up by 2. We are in low threat. 2 white dice worth of walkers will interplay and then move toward the closest survivor. 4 walkers are going to interplay. Okay. So, start with the center. Oh my, that's going to suck. I think our buddy Jack might not live much longer. The other ones are going to have to come out and help. So this one appears here. Yep, that one fell off. Again. Right here. Guess those shotgun blasts didn't really pay off, did they? We've got one here. Yeah, oops, I think it was there. That's really gonna suck for Jack. I'm sorry, Jack. Alright, and then those walkers will move toward the nearest survivor. So let's just do this one. Do it like that. This one moves here. Okay, all of them are going to come through. I'll just push it over. They are all walking into him. Oh my, that sucks. Alright, melee, absolutely. I think I want to do the melee at this back door because there's a zombie there. So we'll roll for the door. Roll for the zombie. Ah, the zombie is still there. And then Jack. Jack will roll 1 die. Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. And Jack is going to be attacked by a bunch of zombies. And yeah, Jack is a zombie. Okay, so we have part of the objective. Unfortunately, we have a ton of zombies really, really close. I am really uncertain of how they want to handle this. They need to get the zombies away. Threat level at the end of the round goes up by 1, and we're going to roll for the 2 zombies to see if they get up. Former Jack, it does stand up, and then the other one also stands up. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go ahead and end the scenario here, and here's how I'm going to work it. I am going to say that they technically didn't win the game. They got the doors locked, but they didn't get the zombies away from the house. And so what I will do is I will end the game here, so nothing else is going to happen, but they're not going to gain experience for this one. I think that's how I will balance it. And so that will end the scenario home. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you another time.